Alright, so it's raining heavily outside. So, in this video, I'm going to show you various top commands which are available on Linux. It is an invaluable tool if you ever use or ever sit on a server. We used to sit, I'm talking about the yesteryears where not so modern tools were available, but top was available very much. So it is one of the go-to tool uh, on server to monitor the stuff in the system along with other stuff. Now developers are adding few more stuff, top like stuff, or the name attached with a specific top. Okay, so I'm going to take a peek on different top interface on Linux. Okay, few of them you probably know, few of them you probably use, and few of them you probably never heard of or never use it. Okay, because those are special cases stuff, not so generic one. So I thought to dish out what are the various top program which comes along with Linux, so it might help. Okay, so without further ado, let me get into a terminal. So to start with, the popular one, right? So everyone dishing out it called htop. It looks like to me in my system. You can heavily tweak it. The tweaking is pretty darn simple. Okay, and you can do it, change it, chop it according. This is a quick way to. It has got more colorful and more detailed stuff. The and essentially it comes out much later. Okay, so htop is one. Okay, so people, this is a very common tool and most of the people they are using it. Okay, important thing, you can customize it according to your need like every other tool I'm going to mention. Okay, next is plain top. It has got several flags too. We used to use different flag like -c, -b, -a, different. Also, you can do a lot of stuff with these tools. Once upon a time, is quite invaluable for the people who are involved in operation. Okay, to find out so many stuff related on the server. Mostly, it not so useful on desktop that time. Nowadays people can use because there are plenty stuff on their desktop. I don't know why, because of their craziness probably. So they might look into this. Is an old school top which has got different flags. If you know their meaning, you would probably use those stuff. Okay, so this is top. Okay, so the next thing is that I'm going to show you called atop, which is a more extensive version of top and a very detailed one. Not everybody needs it. Only those who are extremely curious and wanted to know the gore details of the system related stuff, atop is a bloody good tool to look at. Okay, so if I press enter, you can see this is extremely detailed and you are supposed to know a lot of stuff while looking at it, because it's not just about looking at. I have come across people who frequently mentioned or use this stuff without having any kind of understanding what they're looking at. They just speak out stuff from some other people and iterate those stuff. Okay, so it is important to know how to decipher the stuff what the tool's spitting out. So without properly deciphering the tool's output, your measurement can go in haywire. which you should not want, right? Or not the people who depended on you to. So you have to have an understanding what you are seeing at on the screen and how to decipher it. Okay, I remember I because it's a painstaking job to go through and understand. I tried once and learned it, and I try not to forget what I learned about those specific, because this being bread and butter. So that's why it is important to know what is going on. Okay, ATOP is a very extensive form of top. People should look at it if you are inclined and curious enough and wanted to know what is going on in your system. You could do so. Okay, all right. So the next thing I'm going to use related to input output. People have written the top like interface for that, that is IOTOP. So it requires a super user privilege to run it, because it accesses the underlying scene. This is how you can get real-time information of input output stuff in your system by running IOTOP, input output top, right? So this is very handy. So you know where the input output system, how it is interacting with your system underlying. So at least it will give you a glimpse that what it is doing. Okay, so it's very handy. Now the next thing on that we call it slap top. Sorry, it again requires sudo privilege. This is purely related to memory paging related stuff. If you are inclined and curious related about memory related stuff, it will give you a low level view of the paging system inside the system. This is called slap top. Okay, these are come bundled with the Linux system, whatever the distro, whatever the Linux you are. If your distribution is not crazy enough to eliminate those, you are bound to get all this stuff comes along with the whatever the distro you are using. So this is slap top, which will provide you the all paging mechanism, what the page related stuff using in the system. So you will get a glimpse out of it in a real-time system. Okay, so this is very handy. These two combined, whether you sit on a server or nowadays a modern desktop user who has got a lot of stuff in their desktop for no apparent reason. So this tool come aid to fine tune or look into your system, where things going on and how things are going on. So it will give you some side of live snapshot of your system, how it is behaving, how it is doing. Okay, the last thing I want to show something called power top, which is now again it is required. See, this is power top, and you can tap through the tabbing, so get a different view of it. This is essentially related with the power management stuff. Okay, that is why it is called power top. You are supposed to know, if you wanted to tune your system to get the best of use of your power, right? You are supposed to know what you are doing, like every other top also, because unless you know the underlying detail, so blindly stabbing at it doesn't, it will worsen your system performance then enhance it. So before tuning it up, it's a kind of heads up I'm giving you. Before tuning it up, you are supposed to know what you are going to achieve, what is the impact of that particular tuning, because doing an airy-fairy tuning might degrade the performance of your device. Okay, so this is a popular tool to manage power related stuff. This is called power top. Okay, so I have shown you 5-6 stuff, like H top, A top, normal top, okay, and IO top, slab top, okay, and I have shown you power top. So I have shown you this 6 top, which comes bundled with I probably if power top is not come by default, you can easily get most of the repos I use generally have a power top in their default repository, and probably a top too. If any of them, I don't think, if something is missing of these top programs, you can easily get it from your default distribution repository. These things are bundled with them now. People getting aware of it, they are using it. So the package maintainer, they started to build it in their core repository. So you should not sweat to get this stuff. But if you use it properly, these tools will give you enough information about your system to find out the bottlenecks, or at least guide you to where the things can be tuned properly, provided you know what you are going to do with that. So I thought to give you a kind of heads up to people who are not aware, or probably aware and not even understand what they are looking at. So every top is targeted to a few of them, as you can see in the list, targeted to a specific things to be shown. Slab top is dedicated for paging memory related stuff. IO top is dedicated to input output system. Power top is dedicated to all your thermals and power related stuff. The first three, H top, A top, and top, is the generic top, which means it includes almost everything related to the system, provided you know the flags and the stuff you need to know to get the information on the interface. First three are more generic. Second part of the three are more specific. So this top system comes handy if you know what you are looking for, if you know what you are tuning for. But if you don't know a lot of stuff, it might give you a lot of information on the interface, but for heaven's sake, don't stab on it bluntly, because if you do not know what you are doing, or if you do not able to interpreting the output is very important. Without interpreting properly, you might end up degrading the performance. So if you know what you are doing, what you are looking for, these tools will help you, guide you, enhance your system stuff. Okay, so, and these tools are on for quite some time, so you can probably safely use it. Okay, so I hope this will give you some sort of heads up, and it will be useful for some people. Thanks for watching.